Hey guys, it's Carlos from Spark. Today I wanted to go over a fun series that we use for jiu-jitsu players and our grappler clients. It's our Halo series. We've gone over some great movements for hip mobility as well as shoulder stability and mobility. And today we're going to be working a bit on the trunk and sort of connecting the trunk with our shoulders in a way that's going to translate right to the mat. We're going to use a little bit of equipment here, but realize that you don't need a lot of cool gear. You can use anything that's heavy, and a lot of times changing your stance, changing the balance component of this is going to be enough intensity to get progress from it. So we're going to keep you on the mat and keep you pain-free. Just watch these couple moves. Okay guys, so the first move that I want to show is sort of the most basic foundation of this Halo series. It's what we call our short sitting Halo. Short sitting just means that you're sitting like on your butt with your knees flexed, and so there's very little balance component. And it's great to use a mirror or some kind of sight to focus on when you're doing this, because the idea is to move the bell or the weight around your head in as tight a circle as you can without moving your trunk that much. So I'll use a bell here, but again, I could use this plate just as easily. When I'm using a bell, I want my elbows to be somewhat close together. I don't want to flare it out. Okay? I don't want a lot of activity from the upper parts of my neck. I want really nice stability here. So we're going to be here with the elbows. I'm going to bring it straight back behind my head while my elbows stay mostly together. Back to here. And I'm going to pick a side. I'm going to go to the left. Back to the middle. And as long as I do this without my head moving a whole lot, then I've got this thing done right. I'm going to the right a few. Easy, easy. Okay. The idea, again, not a lot of elbow flaring, not a lot of side bending in my body. So that's the first, most basic move in this Halo series. All right guys, so the movement number 2 will involve a plate, but again, you can use the kettlebell or anything heavy just as easily. We're going to be in a half kneeling position, so noticing that going from short sitting to half kneeling is a challenge of your balance. So I'm going to take this plate. This is a 25 pounder. You can use a 10, you can use your backpack, you can use your kid, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go into half kneeling. That just means that my one knee is down while the other is up. And I can change the balance component of this by getting really tight stance, narrow, or if it's too hard, I can actually be very wide. So I'll be wide on this one. We're going to take this plate, and again, same rules. My elbows mostly stay as close as I can keep them together. It's not flared out like that. And I'm going in behind me. I'm picking something directly in front of me. Right now I'm looking right at you, and we're going to come over to the side, and I'm going to try not to move my head. So you guys can probably grade how good I'm doing on this Halo. Okay, the taller I get, the harder the balance is, okay? I'm getting a big stretch of my lats, big shoulders. The idea here, not to move. I'll do both legs, 5 or 6 repetitions each side. You can make this as heavy as you like, but it's all great because it's going to transfer all that power from the shoulders into our trunk, and it's going to translate right to the mat. Okay guys, so movement number 3 is just a progression of a couple of other Halo movements that we were showing. So this one's going to be interesting because it's one of the harder ones. I had to decide what would be the coolest version of this that we could show that people could try, but I could talk and describe over. So let's give this a shot. So I'm going to be using an 8-kilogram bell and a 55-centimeter Theraball. Real simple. What I want to do is kneel in essentially a short kneeling position similar to if we were on the ground. And then when we get there, we're going to perform that same Halo. So I'm trying to stay tall on my trunk, trying to get my elbows together. I'm going to bring my hands back. That's pretty okay. And then I'm going to come to one side. The idea there, again, not moving my trunk as much as possible. I can add presses. I can add all kinds of cool stuff. Bailing out. All right, good. All right, guys, so that was 3 different variations of this Halo series. Guys, this is a progression. We showed some the most basic version of this in that short sitting to kind of a complicated version on a Theraball, realizing that there are lots of interesting ways to make this more difficult. But what we really want to get at is that we're working on trunk stability, working on connecting your trunk with your shoulders. All this is to create a better platform for learning our jiu-jitsu and our grappling skills and staying pain-free on the mat. So we'll see you out there. Os.